Hey guys, Bluntek here. Now, I'm sorry, I can't do any more of these uploads anymore. I can't do them weekly like I have been, or more like monthly. So, no video for the day, guys. No video. But, I know it disappoints everyone saw me say no video for the day. So, why don't you sit down? I'll tell you a story since you're already here and I don't want to disappoint the fan base, alright? So, let me just crack open this thing here. Alright. Alright. So, there was this one time where I was in the army, and in the army, there's a lot of cool guys there. There's Billy Joe Bob, who was the most redneck man of all time. He was so redneck that he made the French look like normal people. Now, what happened was is that one day the drill sergeant says that I'm stupid, so I had to go to the retarded. Oh wait, I can't say that word. I had to go to the barracks for the mentally disabled people, and what happened was is that I went in there, and they had Halo 2 running on a PS2. So what I did was is that I started playing Halo 2 in this little corner of the Down Syndrome Inc. fucking platoon. So playing Halo 2, and next thing you know, like 20 years go by, and turns out we actually invaded Afghanistan for some reason. I don't know, some towers or something. But that does suck. So, anyways, afterwards, I got discharged from the army, and my old pal Tony, who used to say the N word a lot, one day we're hanging out, and he was a professional at this. See, he was Asian American, meaning that he was Asian and also American at the same time. And just in case you didn't get that, he was Asian and also American at the same time. Now, he went over the basic principle that he thought Asian people could say the N word, and that's just not the case. So he was saying the N word for about like 12 years or so, and one day he gets knocked out so hard that he goes into a coma for a whole year. And during that time in the coma, uh, the Las Vegas shooting happened, and afterwards they banned, I think, bump stocks. So this meant that when Tony came out, he would be very disappointed because his favorite thing was saying the N word and firing bump stocks. So what happens was is that he goes to his house after he gets out of the coma and learns to walk again, and then he goes shoots his gun with bump stock on it, and immediately gets shot by an ATF guy, and it just didn't work out well for him. But that doesn't really matter to the story I'm trying to tell here. I mentioned earlier that the Belgians didn't make French fries. I'm sorry, that the French didn't actually make French fries, and that was the Belgian people. Now, I do stand by this statement, but I do think exactly that In-N-Out Burger actually made French fries first. And this is a direct conflict on First Amendment rights because a lot of people think that the Americans made the French fries, or the French made the French fries, but it was actually African Americans because in the country of Africa, that's kind of. But way back when, in the days where Africa was doing their thing, like Far Cry 2, and in Far Cry 2, there's a lot of weapons in that game, but the best weapon is the flamethrower, because once you shoot the flamethrower it goes all over the place, and it like starts all these crazy wildfires. And so, anyways, I know this one guy from Canada like makes music or something, and he was down in Africa one time, and I'm like, "Hey, that's cool that you're in Africa. You want me to come down there?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And well, I hopped on the wrong plane. I was on ISIS, fucking airlines or some shit. I landed in like, I don't know, Afghanistan or Ireland, I don't know. But in Ireland, there's a group of people that actually wanted to kill Margaret Thatcher, and that wasn't the coolest thing. But one thing I did find pretty cool was So back in the day, there's this guy named John F. Kennedy, but he doesn't matter to the story. There was actually a guy after him named Ronald Reagan. What Ronald Reagan did is that he flooded the hood with crack in like these black neighborhoods, which is not the best thing of all time. But afterwards, when he did that, he actually got a chocolate milkshake from Sonic, and this was actually used in the court case to prove that he did indeed flood the hood with crack, which I did find interesting. And did you know that sand, if you get it hard enough, it does turn into glass like Minecraft? But now a lot of people say that Minecraft is a realistic game. It's a, it's a game for children. But that is just not the truth. I don't think a woman made Minecraft, which is, it's just, in my opinion, it's just very sexist because I always found Minecraft to be a game needing woman. Because there's this old video of Dan TDM, and he's like, I don't know, fucking, he's like, he gives his bread to like Minecraft girl, and he makes me a sandwich, and that's not the coolest thing he said, but Sky does Minecraft beats wife, and he was essential to the Minecraft community. So I think Minecraft needs to better represent woman and gender roles in general, and woman breaking gender roles, just so we could do this like awesome thing, including like how, I don't know, woman empowerment and whatnot. But did you know in California, actually, you can, if you have a baby and you neglect it for 7 days, you won't be charged for actually neglect. Now, what's funny is, what's funny is that New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas is a 2010 hit game, and one of the better things I found about this game is that you can kill almost every NPC in the game, which is pretty interesting, but that don't matter. In Fallout 76 is an online game where you're playing as this guy, and what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. Far Cry 6. So Far Cry 6, you're playing as this guy, and Gustavo Fring's the bad guy, and he's like, I hate fucking Donkey Kong. But like I learned when I was making French fries in Ireland, I learned that slavery was actually abolished in 1865 in the United States, and in comparison, that's very early compared to other countries. Because in other countries, they banned slavery. Like the latest country to ban slavery was in like 1980. But it's I digress. Anyways, yeah, like I was saying about Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3, you play as Max Payne, and you're in like New York or something, and like you're on like pain pills, and you're shooting guys, and like you're jumping up and down, and you're crouching and whatnot. And this is just a beautiful example of ludonarrative dissonance, which is something that Bioshock actually created, because Bioshock was an immersive sim game from like 2007 maybe, and that game actually invented RTX because of how the water works in the game. And um but I do know one thing about Bioshock is that it was not the first game to invent trees. The first game to invent trees was actually Pong. A lot of people misrepresent Pong, that say they look too much into it and they see the human element that's there, which there is none. Pong is actually about two trees fighting over an apple, and what happens is that once the apple gets eaten by Bill Clinton, the fucking towers get hit. And this just shows that 9/11 was actually an inside job. And you want me to prove that? I can't. You know, a lot of people, they're like, fucking conspiracy theorists. But you know what was right? Hunt Showdown, that's an interesting game where like you're a bounty hunter and you got a gun, and the crosshair is in the middle of the screen like Halo, but it's not like Halo because Halo's crosshair is in the middle of the screen because it's useful. But anyways, there's this one time I was outside Walmart and I kicked the fucking dumpster so hard I broke my fucking shin, and that was funny. And like there's this other time when I was in the Marine Corps and the Navy and the Air Force where I flew a plane 1 billion feet in the air, and then I crashed it, but then I actually survived unscathed just because of how the Air Force was building the planes at the time. Now, with my time in the Air Force, Navy, Army, and Marine Corps, they actually gave us milkshakes that were Donkey Kong flavored. And Donkey Kong 64 is an interesting game because there's a lot of Kongs you get to play as, but my biggest complaint with the game is that you have to switch in between the Kongs a lot. And so what you do is that you're like Donkey Kong and you can only collect the yellow bananas, and the woman can only collect like the pink one, and Lanky can only collect that blue or something. And then you gotta go with this barrel, and the barrel was actually the same barrel that I kicked when I was playing. What was the game called? Disco Elysium. And Disco Elysium is a funny game because that game is just funny, but it doesn't have that much disco in it, surprisingly, and it takes place in like the 1800s, like Dishonored. But Dishonored, that game had like a lot of rats in it, and like if you look at my ceiling right now, you see no rats, and that's just the truth. There's no rats in the ceiling, but I'm not a carpenter. And so I've been doing this thing in my basement where I fucking work out, and what's been happening is that game Cyberpunk. I was playing Cyberpunk the other day, and I found out that there's actually I don't know, but you ever play that game? Fucking, you ever play goddamn? You ever see Wolf of Wall Street? Now in Wolf of Wall Street, Leonardo DiCaprio kicked back because this guy, and he's this guy, and he's got this banker notes, and like he's like drinking all the milkshakes, and this is actually an example of racism in Ireland. And you might be thinking, well, there's no black people in Ireland. That's why Ireland's racist. It doesn't have a diverse enough community. But one thing I did find out is that Polish is like the Polish people. They're really cool. You know, they think about a lot of things. Like uh, anyways, yeah, that's my story, and that's how Joe Biden was actually won the 2020 election. Now you may think, oh, fucking, did you made that up? But look, these are all backed by sources. If you go to the Urban Dictionary and Wikipedia.com, you can actually find my me on there, and all these are true. All the things that I talked about here today, and I just fucking pissed myself.